right, welcome everyone with Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Season 2, episode 2.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
There's a lot of things that have to be said here.
Yes. But time for words is done.
Yeah.
Because this diplomatic conference or whatever is now turning into a bunch of fights.
Because
these were the diplomats that were chosen for this mission.
Because of racial profiling. They're from the Beast Kingdom, so they think that they must
those beastards.
Meest to be. You made me slur my words a little bit there to where I was like, meesting. They're having a meeting.
Yep.
But because they're beast, it's a meesting.
And to moot. I don't know why I said that. The point is...
travel west to the Beast Kingdom.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. But they're fighting, and it's very important that it's a girl fighting a girl and then a guy fighting a guy, because we couldn't have it any other way.
Exactly.
Right?
You
can't actually...
Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reincarnated into a world that... Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
I'm really excited to have Rimuru just kind of sip tea and be like, yes, this is all according to Cake in some way. I just know he has to do something.
It's all just to get the nervous tension just out into the air.
Sexual tension.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could be.
But wait, Gabiru isn't there. Or wait, is he there? He might be there.
His presence extends beyond him.
That's right. Because Gabiru has all of the sexual tension just contained within his very being.
Yes. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion. All right.
Okay.
More diplomacy and also a redemption on the previous episode's kind of awkward ending.
Right, because it was stopped very quickly. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was primarily something that they were using as a test to just see whether or not they were actually strong enough to be worthy allies.
Which makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
It's one where Rimuru was able to kind of deduce that just fine enough by being like, I don't know if we should stop it now or if it's better to wait for someone else to stop it.
On their end,
Because then that's showing, if anything, the strength that they have, that they're like, oh, we're not bothered by this, you know?
Sure.
So, okay, it makes it a lot better because in general, when you have stories where the characters are like, we should not do this thing, and then they're like, immediately do the thing, it feels kind of dumb.
Especially when, like, you know, it's just sort of like, oh, okay, we have a fight, but like, we don't necessarily need it. We don't necessarily care about this fight that's happening.
Exactly.
You know, it's a way to maybe showcase the animation of the season. You know, that they're gonna you know put the effort into all those bits. But okay, now we're on to the sort of real meat and potatoes of the story.
Yeah,
which is hey, running a nation.
Running a nation and checking up with all your allies to make sure everything is good.
Yep.
And then strengthening really the setup that you do have. Because while this is all good, you literally are dealing with demon lords and mages and stuff like that and all kinds of other stuff in this high fantasy world.
Right.
Where you might not be good with everything. So Rimuru going around and checking up with everybody makes a lot of sense. And given that the dwarves are one of the, I would say at least in terms of the story, one of the first real civilizations we got a look of.
That's a good
it's
point.
Kind of important that we go back here and kind of be like, hey, now we're a civilization. So let's
engage as equals now. Yeah.
Let's engage in this regard. And that'll be rather interesting. Because as they start to basically be like, okay, but there's those scheming in the background, there's stuff behind the curtain here. We're going to see a little bit more of maybe the leftovers of season 1's kind of manipulations from these mages and those in cohort with demons and stuff to end up being some kind of a conflict there, but they're taking it rather relaxed and slow, which I personally really like.
Same.
But it's also the thing of where we're like, okay, well, we'll just wait until that kind of comes about before we kind of go into the discussion portion of it.
But I am curious to see what kind of flavor the conflict will take, because given that this show is doing the, you know, you're playing Civ kind of approach, right? how does the conflict end up happening there? Because, we've had conflicts where it's like, oh, there's an army of orcs on its way before. But, like, if you're dealing with, like, specific individuals that are causing trouble, then
how can it make a national level
exactly
emergency? Yeah, I think the immediate thing is that they send people to infiltrate his kingdom.
Right. Which
the nation of Tempest.
Like, that just makes sense to have happen, and that is also something that I feel like could be very fun, because
it could be,
because then it makes me more interested in learning about the cast as a whole. Because if I know that there's, like, probably a spy, but we don't necessarily know who it is, right?
Or we do know who it is,
or we do know who it is,
when no one else knows who it is,
right? Then that's opportunity for us to focus on the characters a bit more, maybe, as this spy is doing their thing.
Right.
And it looks like slice of life to all the other characters, but then we can actually see that there's some conflict going on. And maybe that could be a way that we can sort of have our cake and eat it.
Yes.
Where you can add tension into situations where the other characters themselves are not tense and are going about the drinking and negotiations. And, do we have somebody that can, handle the logistics of what would be a good ratio of alcohol to return from the fruit that they give us.
Because effectively they'd be giving us that for free, unless we give them some way to turn it into wonderful alcohol.
Yep.
I loved that whole sequence, specifically the idea with things switching from to a fight, to let's now set up the basis for an alliance here. And having a consistent flow of resources like that is the exact kind of thing that an alliance could be based on. Really, just as simple as your booze is better than ours,
right?
Or you actually know how to make booze at all.
Sure,
we want that. Cool. Okay, our people will be happy. Look, we just gave booze to the guys that are helping build our roads.
Right.
They're really freaking happy about that. That's all it is. It's just finding ways to have the organization of this group make your found family of monsters and people out there just a little bit happier.
Open Civ trade menu. Wine. Well,
people love you.
Yeah, exactly. What will you give us for this? Oh, we'll give you 8 gold a turn, something like that.
True. I mean, that's basically it. I will say, though, this is something that I'm going to have to get used to, and you guys are probably going to just realize this if you don't already. But one of the things that I forgot that Slime does, and it's a nitpick of mine, but it's something that I would say is a way in which writing is done lazily, is when you have a bunch of characters in a scene, watch the characters that don't matter will all say one thing in a row, in a sequence, because they don't matter. And thus, I am going to change a little bit of my philosophy regarding this show. And anytime a scene happens where characters do that, they don't matter in the story. I don't care about their names. There are Dwarf 1, 2, 3, and that is it.
But the thing that can be unfortunate about that is that even if there are characters that maybe are of more importance in the story, maybe because the cast is so large or other things or whatever, or because they're maybe playing a bit to their shtick, they can kind of be relegated to the same treatment in those scenes as the other characters that are like not even tertiary characters.
But I will say, all the times where they focused on the council specifically, it was just Rimuru talking, and every once in a while, people be like, okay, good, gotcha. And then there's the one guy who's Rigurd's, I believe is his father. He was the old chief of the group.
Oh, right, the one that was constantly bursting into tears.
Right. That's the kind of thing where it's a specific character just having their little thing there. They're just like... And then it ties in very nicely to Benimaru being like, no, I agree. He's great. He should be the one that leads this here.
Yep.
I'm more of a fighter. I should be here protecting the
really appreciated that because
that was a really cool moment.
It was a wonderful moment, and it's a fun kind of like bit of self-awareness with the show where it's like, yes, this show is a wish fulfillment fantasy. Yes, you're gonna have all of these characters that have like their cool
crazy
outfits, being
OP
badass and the OP
and
abilities and everything. But no, they're not going to know shit when it comes to actually running a nation, right? So you just have like, oh yeah, random orc boy or goblin boy that grew up, and everything. And oh, he's got a real knack for this. He's good at this. I am specifically going to step aside.
Dog boy.
Exactly.
Can you come in here and run this?
Sure, but like,
okay, are you sure?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. I love that stuff because I don't particularly care about the Majin for one.
The
that
Kijin.
much. Kijin. That's right. Yeah, that's what
they've become Kijin now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. So getting to see all of like the regular people in this fantastical world, I really appreciate that. Like, I don't know. And that might just be my personal taste of liking those characters more.
Sure.
But
I think it's because you can tell how much the characters that are the Kijin are basically there to check a box of a specific archetype.
Rimuru needs to be flanked by beautiful women.
Well, also, just even the other ones there are fulfilling very specific color-coded, archetype-coded roles.
Right. And I'm the edgy one. I'm the edgier one. Yeah.
Or no. Like I'm the boisterous one. That's generally just the main one because he's a boy and he's red. You know. Then there's the blue one who's like, ugh. Yes, I'm quiet. I do my thing. And then you have the old one that's I'm the mentor that's super serious. I could go through the list and all of them. But the point being, when Slime decides to basically take its time and focus on one character at a time, give them that little bit of characterization, then it's the reminder that, okay, we do have an ensemble cast. There is care put into these characters when we're not just having them do 1, 2, 3, 4 react sama.
Like, for instance, okay, no, this is actually a terrible example, but Gabiru, I mean, it's kind of a good example.
Okay, Gabiru wasn't in this episode. I'm gonna need you to get all the way off Gabiru's dick right now.
No, well, I won't get off that then.
Alrighty then.
Gabiru is tight.
So now that we have Clayman here and a girl that was definitely in the OP and is also, I'm very certain, a new character.
I believe so.
But flanked in a way in the OP with Yom.
Yes.
Means there could be some unique, something going on there.
Yep.
And also it could be a possibility that this person is just someone that was summoned here. They don't necessarily have to be from this world.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
That is something to think about. I'm also kind of curious to see when or if any of the machinations from the various characters that we've run into over the course of this show that are like doing their behind the scenes scheming, if they ever end up deciding, you know what, I'll bet this group of people also has other enemies. Let's work together. I would love to see some sort of like crazy
I think that's already
evil cabal of scheming.
I think that's already happening. It's just, we haven't seen them in a while. And it's been a while since we've watched season 1, so we're still a little rusty on some things.
That is definitely
true. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.